Hello, and welcome to One Time In, a EuroPeers UK podcast sharing and celebrating tales of travel and international adventure. My name's Nathan.
And I'm Joseph.
And together we're going to be exploring some of those magical moments that really let you know you're in a different country, culture, or climate.
This time round, things are a little bit different because we're joined by multiple guests from multiple different countries, many of them Italy, actually. But these guests today are all members of the EuroPeers International Network. So if we can go around and maybe introduce ourselves, that'd be wonderful.
Hello, my name is Biliana. Nice to meet you all. I'm the EuroPeers International Network Youth Steering Group member representing Italy together with my colleague Adriana Di Conca, and I will pass now my work to her. Go, Adri.
Hello, together with Biliana, we are in the Youth Steering Group, and I'm also part of the EuroPeers Italian Network. And while I'm living in the Balkans, so it's very European experience. Pass to Alma.
Hi everybody, and I'm Alma. I'm 24 years old, and I'm in Italy, and I'm Italian. And I'm part of EuroPeers Italy since some months. Actually, the EuroPeers Italy groups just started to work, so we are adjusting, but enthusiastic about to begin this adventure. And I pass to Alessia.
Hello, I'm Alessia, and as Alma, again, I'm Italian too, and I'm a team member of EuroPeers Italy. I'm actually 28, and I've joined EuroPeers since a little of time, especially when I come back from my EVS, but I wasn't able to participate actively since I was making another training course, but I'm ready to begin. And I pass the word to Dilara.
My name is Dilara. I am from Turkey, but I'm doing ESC in Estonia, Tartu. And I just became EuroPeers thanks to Germany National Agency. And I am 25. And I'm so happy to be EuroPeer. That's it.
Beautiful.
Thank you very much.
Nathan, who are you?
Joseph and I, as hosts, we're both part of EuroPeers UK. And I suppose maybe for those listening out there who aren't familiar with EuroPeers, if we could just sum it up in a quick, short sentence, Joseph, just for a bit of context.
Okay, cool. So EuroPeers is a sort of alumni network of young people that have been involved in Erasmus Plus volunteering exchanges or volunteering placements. I hope that was short enough.
Perfect. That sounds really exciting, Joseph. And how does somebody become part of this network? I know, maybe we should ask some of our wonderful guests we have here today.
I think that's a grand idea.
So yeah, guys, if anybody would just like to jump straight in and sort of explain to people how you became a EuroPeer, how you joined this network.
To me, it was quite unusual because I got into the international network before to be part of my national one, because the Italian network is really young. As Alma was saying before, we are just go through an intense training to start building our network and start planning our next steps in Italy. And after my EVS in Croatia, I actually started to be an informal EuroPeers. I mean, I didn't know about them, but I start reaching people, former volunteers and people like me that had the same experience in Europe and abroad. And then I heard through Facebook, I think through social, that there was this international network, and I wanted to know more. And I've reached Emily, who is the coordinator of the international network, and I applied to be part of the youth steering group. And then the same year in Italy, things started moving. And our national agency started to form the group and had a call to be part of that. So I think that probably it's changed from country to country, because many countries in Europe still doesn't have the EuroPeers network. But I will suggest people that were part of this volunteering experience and all the Erasmus Plus program to start pushing and asking to their national agency to start building the network and to start doing it informally, reaching our international network, because we can give you help and everything you need to start acting, because it's really important. And probably the other would say why we think it's important to advocating and mobilitating people to join us.
Perfect, thank you, Adriana. And it's by the sounds of how you got involved with EuroPeers, that was quite your own journey, what you took. There wasn't anybody who came and said, oh, you should join this. But you also touched upon there that a key objective of somebody who's part of the EuroPeers network is to share these international experiences and encourage others to do it. So any of you other ladies, did you have that person come up to you and say, oh, you should be part of EuroPeers? Or did you all have a similar story as Adriana, where you had to look for it yourself?
No, actually, I share more or less the same experience of Adriana, and I share also a lot of thoughts, a lot of things that she said, especially the fact that at least in Italy, this is a very young network. So, I mean, for me, the necessity to be an EuroPeers came out from the urgency to let people know about EVS, about youth exchange, because the sensation I had, at least in my region of Italy, is that not many people were informed about that. And there is also, I think, a lot of prejudice around the EVS period. I mean, it's seen as a period in which you go away and you waste a little bit of your time, not actually an experience from which you can learn. It's not just a volunteer service or something like that. You can really learn a lot from that. So at least for me, the idea to become an EuroPeers came out exactly for this, because I want to let people be aware about this opportunity and to let people understand how much I've learned and how much I've changed in 1 year of EVS. And actually, as Adriana said, nobody came to me and say, hey, join EuroPeers team. No, I simply start to be an informal, as Adriana said, an informal EuroPeers, talking about everybody in a really enthusiastic way about this experience. And then searching, if you search, you find. And so I find the national agency and the team of EuroPeers, and I asked to join.
That's very interesting. It definitely makes it seem as if there is a bit of a need for EuroPeers to be more well-known and to be a little bit more accessible. But at least you were, as you said, you were able to seek and you did find because you were curious. So that's really good to hear. Dilara, what about yourself? Because it sounds like you're also very new to the network, but maybe you've accessed it a little differently.
I became last month maybe as a EuroPeer. I just applied, do you know Satoyo website? Yeah, I just applied one program for 4 days, and then I even didn't know what does it mean, EuroPeers. I mean, and then I said, oh, it's cool. Yeah, I like it. I feel more EuroPeer. I mean, more European. Even I'm not. It's cool. I don't know what to say.
So what does it mean for you to be a part of the EuroPeers network then?
I mean, after this program, after becoming a EuroPeer, I am trying to write a European project and some ESC projects,
Fantastic.
programs. Yeah.
And so for those as well who aren't familiar with ESC programs and European projects, because maybe for some that comment just went straight over the head, but that is quite it's a big achievement that to apply to the European Commission for amounts of money to run projects anywhere from 1 week to 1 year. So big congratulations for that. To move on to the next point of discussion then, what have you gained from EuroPeers and travel in general? As you've just said, Dilara, it's a huge network. So as for you who's in a position now to write projects and apply for funding, I can imagine that it's benefited you to be part of this great big network in terms of just networking and getting to know other people, sharing their experiences. So maybe Biljana and Alma as well, because you haven't really had a chance to say your points. What has EuroPeers given you, or even just travel in general?
Well, for me, it's about inspire collaboration and to be inspired by collaboration, because the EuroPeers International Network is everything about working together, about teamwork, about achieving, let's say, goals together. More about, getting to know each other's reality, and then there is a moment that you understand how many things you have in common. That's what it comes to me. It's inspiring collaboration.
It's more like what I gain as for now, because I'm joining as a recent thing. It's that I meet people with my same values. It's not very common, like as Alessia and Adriana said, here in Italy, there's not so much the culture of the gap year, for example, or in general for young people to start traveling young and doing this sort of experience. So especially in my area, I don't know many other people that have done like Erasmus Plus project or other volunteer projects, and this was a way to put in contact with others. And I never had the experience to create projects and be part of the creation of this experience, as Dilara said that he's starting to do. I just joined it as a participation thing, but I love the experience and I feel inspired by people that have my same common. So
I think that you touch on a really interesting point there, and it's kind of like how, once you have that experience yourself, you can very easily become very passionate about being a part of this world. And then to be able to connect to the EuroPeers network is kind of your doorway to stay connected with other people that are equally passionate. When you get these people together, amazing things can happen, in my experience.
Yes.
It's also a really nice way to exchange ideas, because if you are working on a project, sometimes you are super stuck on that.
Yeah.
And simply talk with other people that are maybe different from you, that have simply another mind that is different from yours, can like refresh your mind. It's refreshing, actually.
Absolutely.
I always think about the metaphor about the flower and the surrounding. If the flower is not blooming, it's not about the flower, it's about also the surrounding. So you don't change the flower, you change the environment. And that's what the EuroPeers International Network and the networks within the countries is about. It's about giving support to each other and be there, exactly as Alessia said, when you're stuck with something. We are here to unblock each other and to inspire each other and to say it will pass and move on, and don't lose the hope. And just, if you're passionate about something, go with it and we will be there for you.
Sure, absolutely. Because if we are talking about maybe one of the most physical expressions that we can have of being passionate in this field of volunteering and potentially making it a profession for ourselves, it's a daunting task. It's a big will to step into. It can be very intimidating, and absolutely we need the support of each other to help us succeed in that.
Yeah, there are many prejudices sometimes that if you don't know anybody that has done this experience, you don't discover how easy it is, how beautiful it is. So that's the great opportunity, in my opinion. Kill the prejudice.
I don't know about you guys, but actually being part of something bigger than me, being part of a network really helped me going through COVID, this COVID year, because it's giving me a motivation, and I never feel alone. Even if I spend most of the time on Zoom, I gain friends, because really, it's really one of my best friends from a year on. And so it's really something that I see so many, I don't know, stress and disappointment among young people. I would really want to say, go and enter in some network, go and find each other, because it really motivates you. And we need to go through this, and beautiful relationship can grow online, and hopefully we will meet one day in our general meeting. But yeah, it really helped me a lot coping with the stress and the anxiety.
That is a beautiful point, that, and I think even myself anyway has overlooked that. And I'm not sure if people listening, or even yourselves as well, noticed at the start when Joseph was introducing you guys and almost laughed at the fact that 4 people were from the same country. And at the moment, obviously we are online and we're on Zoom, but it really shows that cultural diversity, that to have 4 out of 7 people from the same country, it seems a bit not boring, but in reality, I bet you're from 4 different places, 4 different cities in Italy. So there's still that cultural and that sense of travel and exchange going on there. So,
and it's what's more, it's a very promising sign for your new network in Italy. You know, it's great that you guys, evidently a lot of people are engaging with it, and that's wonderful.
And we never seen in person in reality. So like we are from Italy, but we have never seen in person.
Yeah, Adriana and I, we are 24 on 24, you know, together on Zoom meeting, on WhatsApp, on mail, on Jamboard, everywhere. We never met together, like each other.
That's
Hopefully
crazy.
we will meet in the near future. But it's also, you know, the way that it's shown to me that, as Adriana said, I never felt alone. I mean, it also helped me during this COVID situation, because with Adri, we were always planning something. What can we do? Because it's like, okay, this COVID situation will pass, and we should, you know, prepare when it passes, that we will have events that we will have in presence. So we should work now to prepare for youngsters, you know, when the situation is off, that we can meet and that we can enjoy, and that we can go to the Irish pub in Rome to sing karaoke. I'm terrible at singing, but I will do my best.
as well as singing, I'm sure an activity what we've all missed doing together is dancing. And so on this podcast as well, we do have a reoccurring question, what's been running throughout the series, and we do like to ask each of our guests, what is the most unique, the most exciting, the dance which is stuck in your head, what you've seen when you've been traveling. So it could be from another culture, it could just be at a random bar somewhere where you were traveling and somebody was just having the best time of their life, and no worries whatsoever. But if we could just go around and ask each of you, what is just the most unique dance you've ever seen while traveling?
Well, it will be self-reflection now. When I went to Romania, it was in the zone of Transylvania, really close to the Dracula's castle, which is a bit smaller than it's, you know, on postcards. Just the same. I mean, it's still beautiful, but it's not as big as they publish it. And we were writing on project. It was a training course in Romania, and I was so stressed. And I remember it was early morning. I just had my breakfast, and there were all other colleagues and the participants around the table, and I just put some, you know, Serbian music on, and I was dancing. And afterwards, I saw that the participants, you know, took a video of me. So it was me, my crazy dance, and I was work overloaded since we had 2 days to write the project. I hope it's not too much narcissistic, but
Certainly an answer we haven't had before. That's cool.
I like to be unique.
My answer will be strange, but that's it. I went to an Erasmus Plus study in Madrid, and my friends were all from Latin America almost. And so, yes, Madrid is very multicultural country, multicultural city, and it's full of disco party everywhere. So I have in my mind people twerking in the disco a lot. And but it's a nice imagine for me, because it means freedom, like to express. And in big cities with a lot of culture, it's something that you see that in my town I don't see.
Beautiful.
And Alma, you learn how to twerk too?
No, I never learned. Maybe because I didn't start as a child, as they have done. Don't know.
Or because you were not born Shakira.
Also, I have to take lessons.
About me, I'm really intrigued by the way Albanians move their shoulder when dancing, which is kind of impossible for us, for me, I don't know, because as Italian, we used to move the legs a lot and the hips, but they do something like this very quickly, and it's so, I don't know, it's super interesting to see, and I would like to take lessons from them. Yeah.
Alessia?
Well, for me, I would say flamenco. I went to visit Seville in Spain, in the south of Spain, and I remember that I took some lesson about flamenco, and there was this beautiful Spanish teacher, dressed in the typical way. She started to move. She was like super sexy while playing this flamenco, and so she tried to taught me how to dance flamenco. I try, and I look like an epileptic penguin, probably like shaking my feet on the floor. I was terrible, really, but I enjoy it, and it's something that, yeah, I would like to learn about that, because it's like super complicated. It looks like easy in the way people move and blah blah blah, but actually super super difficult. So yeah, I think this is my best dance.
I think that's also probably the best description we've had as well of dancing, and thankfully it was yourself and you wasn't insulting somebody, but an epileptic penguin as well. I think maybe
it gives the idea, because you know that when you dance flamenco, you have to tip the shoes on the floor, so it gives the idea of the penguin that is like.
I also like this idea. I'd like to participate.
And it's also because you don't explain the dance, you dance the dance.
It's true. Good point, Vijana.
I think that was a good note to end on, about that you don't describe the dance, you dance the dance. So for as much as we've spent this time sharing about these amazing tales of travel and adventure and why you should become part of EuroPeers and telling other people about it, I think for anybody out there listening, just go out and dance the dance. Don't listen to us describe it. Go out there, create your own adventures, make your own memories, and make the most out of life. And Joseph, if you had any other closing words?
I don't think I could possibly say anything that was better than that, honestly. You've been taking lessons.
And you can quote me, free of charge, of course.
I bet it does sound, it flows off the tongue a lot nicer in Italian as well.
Well, maybe Alma can immediately try to translate it in Italian, so you can feel a bit how it's going to sound.
Seems like something we usually say, that it's se sei in ballo devi ballare. It means like,
Yeah.
if you're in that situation, the other are dancing, you should dance. Just go. Get the flow.
Beautiful. And so that has been this episode, One Time in a EuroPeers International Network meeting. We've been joined by some fantastic guests, so a big thank you to you all. If you've enjoyed this episode, please listen to more at EuroPeers UK. That is EuroPeers UK, and we are on SoundCloud, Spotify, and YouTube. Thanks for listening, guys. God bless.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.